I don't necessarily believe that we get tested when we say we want something, although sometimes it can feel like you ask God for whatever it is that you're asking for, and then God or the universe or whatever responds back with, "Are you sure about that? Are you sure?" And then they throw you a curveball like, "Oh, really? Are you sure? We'll try this." What I think actually happens, regardless of how we feel about it, I think the truth of it is that we ask for something and God, the universe, spirit, source, insert whatever word you like to use, starts to go to work to make it possible. But what we forget, and what isn't fun, is that sometimes that involves shaking things up. Welcome to the Fire Within podcast, helping you to remember and embrace who you really are and turn the spark within you into a full, burning, soul-led fire. My name is Carrie Jokala. I am your host. I am a Reiki master teacher, a fitness instructor, a wife, a mom to 2 little boys, and this is episode 224. I'm going to try to keep it relatively short today just due to my own personal time constraints. There's been so much going on. This has been a busy couple of days, but I still want to make sure that I don't continue missing weeks of the podcast because that's not good. By the way, if you've been here, if you've been listening, I appreciate you, and I ask you with full gratitude from the bottom of my heart to... I couldn't tell if my kid was crying or he's playing. He's fine. But I ask you with sincerity, with gratitude, with love, that if anything in these podcasts resonate with you, if you would be so kind as to share it and or leave a 5-star rating and a positive review to help the show reach more people and really start to grow. If you have been sharing it, I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you do share it to Instagram, please make sure you go ahead and tag me too at I am Carrie Jokala. And I know some of you have been listening because I know that there is an awesome group of women who have joined me in the Joy Project already. So that's really awesome. So if you didn't listen to the last one, go ahead and take a listen. That's where I talked about launching the Joy Project, which started on April 1st, just a couple days ago. And we're all just kind of sharing our own version. It doesn't necessarily need to be linked back to me in any sort of way. I did notice that the Joy Project hashtag has already, I kind of figured it may have already been used in the past. It doesn't have a lot of uses, maybe about 1,000 or so apparently, but we're taking it over now. We're using it. And it's nothing to sign up for. It's nothing that you would need to do. You can either just follow along with those of us who are posting and using the hashtag. That's how you can find us, through the hashtag. And just let our joy, our sharing of our journey to more joy in our lives. How did I start that sentence? I don't remember. But let it inspire you. Let it hopefully bring you back to a sense of joy in your life. You could also go the next step further and just purely join in. And there are no rules. I suppose the only thing I would put out there is I would suggest to avoid being political, anything intentionally divisive. I don't feel like there would be anyone here listening to this podcast who would be like this. So I'm not going to go up on a soapbox for too long here, but it really bugs me. And I know it's not up to me, and they're going to post whatever they want, and that's fine. But it bugs me. I think it bugs me the most when people make it known that they are doing their own personal work to grow spiritually, emotionally, just to grow as a person, however they describe it. They're trying to spread more light on the planet, be that light, inspire love, inspire hope, but then they share things that are clearly, intentionally meant to upset people who don't agree with them. And I use the word intentionally, because you can post something innocently, have a positive intention behind it, your own personal positive take on it, or whatever type of message you're trying to get across, however you're trying to reach people, and you can have the best of intentions, and it can still end up offending someone or making someone mad. And I believe that's a separate thing. It's one thing to post something even as unbiased as you possibly could be. I kind of don't think it's possible to be completely unbiased. I think we can get close, but I don't know. I feel like it's impossible to be 100% unbiased, but we can be as unbiased as possible. And there's always going to be someone who can find something wrong with whatever it is. That's different. It's when we're sharing things that we know is going to cause division, is going to upset people. And the reason I mention that as part of the Joy Project is because, again, I don't think it's anybody here listening. I just know there's some people out there who actually, they take joy in upsetting the other side, in upsetting people who don't fully agree with their beliefs. I promise I will get off this soapbox in a moment. I'm not telling anybody what to do. I just don't think that's helpful. I don't think that comes from a place of pure divine love. And I really don't think that kind of stuff ever changes anybody's mind. I think it just makes things worse. I'm not saying don't have your own opinions. I definitely have mine. But I think the true definition of unity is being able to exist and get along with all of our differences. I don't even want to say despite our differences. I want to say with our differences. Being able to share who we are, what makes us unique, the things that bring us joy, and also always in a way that's not pushy, I guess. So, okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox. I'm never here to tell anybody what to think. I'm always simply just sharing my own perspective. So I want you to genuinely share what brings you real joy, your own personal joy that allows you to shine your light, share that with others, and hopefully inspire others to either share in that joy or find their own joy again. I won't go into the whole thing because you can go back and listen to last week's episode. But here's the other thing. I knew I wanted the Joy Project to be authentic. And I know that word is getting overused a lot lately. But to be honest, in this journey back to bringing more joy into my life, that you have crappy days sometimes. And how do you find joy? And how do you continue to feel like being joyful, bringing joy back when things kind of suck? I don't necessarily believe that we get tested when we say we want something, although sometimes it can feel like you ask God for whatever it is that you're asking for, and then God or the universe or whatever responds back with, "Are you sure about that? Are you sure?" And then they throw you a curveball like, "Oh, really? Are you sure? We'll try this." What I think actually happens, regardless of how we feel about it, I think the truth of it is that we ask for something and God, the universe, spirit, source, insert whatever word you like to use, starts to go to work to make it possible. But what we forget, and what isn't fun, is that sometimes that involves shaking things up. Sometimes things have to fall away. Space needs to be made. Sometimes other things just need to be brought to the surface and dealt with. It depends on what you're asking for, what the situation is, what your capacity to receive the thing that you asked for is. Like maybe you've asked for something pretty big and you can have it. You just need to do some work to make yourself a vibrational match for that. And if you're not necessarily fully conscious of that, you'll still experience it. God will throw you all these opportunities to work your way towards raising your frequency. But again, if you're not consciously aware of it, it could feel like you're being pushed down, like you're really being challenged and tested, when in reality, it just happens to be part of your path to getting to that next level and or receiving, being able to receive what you asked for. Because things will go into motion when you ask for something, like bringing more joy into your life. But for it to be fully felt, fully experienced, to be true joy, I don't know. Do things need to be shaken up in your world? Are there things that you need to face up to and work through? Is that joy going to be authentic if you haven't dealt with some of the deeper, darker, more shadowy parts? And I'm not meaning to bring anything down, anybody down in this joy project, because it is meant to be bringing joy back into our life. But my point was that I just want it to be an authentic reflection of the journey, keeping our head held high, not pretending that things are okay if they're not, but keeping our eyes focused on the end goal through it all. Not pushing joy away just because maybe we don't feel like it, or maybe we have a moment where we feel like we don't deserve it. Using those times as reminders that we absolutely do deserve it, because those are the frequencies that we are made of. And I know that sounds cheesy and super woo-woo, but that really is. We are light beings, divine beings, literally made of the frequencies of light, love, joy, all of those higher vibrational frequencies. It doesn't mean that we don't experience other emotions, other feelings, other frequencies, or that we're not supposed to. It doesn't make any of the other ones wrong. We just need to really make sure that we remember that that's actually who we are. So I wanted to also quickly do a card pull. My quantum oracle deck seems like I can ask it today. So I wanted to ask just some guidance on what can we do? What should we focus on to allow ourselves to really embrace joy again as we go through the rest of this joy project? And I realized I never really set an end date for it. I think probably just specifically the month of April, but that doesn't mean it can't continue beyond that, especially if it needs to, especially if it feels like it is meant to be a longer, intentional journey. But let's see what happens. Let's see what cards we get. Okay, so we got planning and action reversed, deception, teacher, the loving man, and commitment reversed. And this actually popped out twice and I rejected it the first time. And it came out again. So it's meant to be here. Sorry, anybody else watch Bluey? I don't remember what they were playing with the dad. I feel like maybe they were pretending he was just born, or and he was just figuring out what everything in the world was. And they took him outside and he freaked out about the sun. And they're like, don't worry about the sun. It's meant to be there. And then they're walking down the street and he stops a random person. Don't worry about the sun. It's meant to be there. Sorry, that's how my brain works. And if I don't let those things out, my brain might explode. Okay. Planning and action. There are different sections, different suits in this deck. So there's the consciousness suit, the energy suit, intention, people, events, spirit, and cycle. So this, if it means anything to you, is part of the energy suit. Planning and action reversed. Okay. I wonder if this, we'll see as we go through it. I get the feeling that this might be, there's 5 cards here, but it might be going from the past into the present. Nope, maybe not the future. I'm not getting future. The past leading up to the present. So planning and actions feels like it's part of the recent past. This card reverse is telling a tale of missed opportunities, plans fallen through, travels delayed, and actions not taken. Well, if that doesn't describe me in the last couple of years. This has been a period of slow-moving energy for you. Of course it is. Of course it has. And it's time to pull yourself out of the quagmire. Yes, it is. That's why we're doing the Joy Project. Okay. You do have some goals in mind, and you might even have done some preparation, but your efforts have stalled. Lately, your mind has been in the clouds, and your daily action has been consumed by the mundane. This is definitely the past. At least for me, feels like it. So I'm feeling that's what it is for this reading for everybody. This card is telling you that you've got to start focusing on your higher priorities. This is me inserting AKA your joy. Okay. It's not too late. You may have been in an ebb of low energy lately, burdened with fuzzy thoughts and a slow moving body, but it's time to shake it off. Dust off your old goals or choose a new one. Reclaim your enthusiasm for life and get back in the race. Affirmation: today's action creates tomorrow's results. I choose to take action in the direction of my goals. Okay, the deception card is part of the events suit. That's interesting. And it's upright. Betrayal, manipulation. A woman works at a desk with 2 coworkers whispering behind her. There is a warning here, so beware. Things are not always what they seem. Someone close to you may not have your best interests at heart, and in fact could actually be working against you. This could be a person or people at work, or it may be a friend or family member. It could manifest as a subtle manipulation or come in the form of a significant betrayal. If you're embroiled in a legal battle, there may be information that's being hidden from you. The deception may be a more personal one, however. Is there something you're ignoring or even lying to yourself about? That shadow stuff I was just talking about, like the things that maybe you need to face up to and work through finally to make space for that joy to exist in your body, in your energy field. Could you be betraying yourself in your choices or in the way you treat or talk to yourself? Whatever may be going on, don't panic. Whether it's an inner or outer issue, you can stand up for yourself. You deserve honesty, respect, and support. Give these to yourself and request the same from others. Choose to act on your own behalf. As you do, you will attract increasing support. Then we have teacher and the loving man. They are both part of the people suit, and they're both upright. So teacher, guide. A man stands in front of a desk with a woman at his side, smiling and looking into a book. The light of spirit pours out of the book and encircles them. The positive influence of someone who will guide you in personal or academic directions is entering your life. This guide may be of assistance in a very thoughtful or spiritual way. I feel like we're into the present now, by the way. Whether you're looking into a new spiritual practice or searching for deeper psychological understanding, now is the time to learn. If you're thinking about going to school, be proactive about moving forward with that decision. Teachers abound in life, including in forms you might not expect, such as a book or online course. You may, in fact, be teaching some classes yourself, perhaps in small groups or in an academic setting. My own personal interjection: I have been feeling nudged that it is time to go back to teaching Reiki again. I really enjoyed that when I was doing it, and then I just kind of got away from it, not on purpose. It just didn't happen. So planting that seed, if you are interested in learning Reiki, I will likely put together a new group setting, but we can also always do a one-on-one if you just want to get going and you want to do it on completely your own schedule, your best availability that fits with mine. So just let me know. Okay, anyway, so get ready, open your heart, and remember that spirit brings guidance as well. Be willing to receive the direction you need and to share the wisdom you have. Okay, the loving man, tender-hearted masculine energy. A man holding a bouquet of flowers walks towards you on a path. The energy that comes from him is compassionate and down to earth. This could portend the beginning of a new romantic relationship, or it could indicate the deepening of a present love. Open your heart and know that you deserve the depths of love that stirs your soul and fills your life with companionship and purpose. There can be all sorts of loving men in your life. In fact, you could be that loving masculine energy. So be kind to yourself. Look at all the ways you can bring more love to your life and the lives of those around you. A kind word, a tender hug, laughter shared, all of these will raise the vibration of love within and around you. And that goes for joy too, just saying. Okay, let's find out about this commitment card. This is under events as well, and it's reversed. Okay, so I read the book explanation for the commitment card reversed, and I didn't like it. So I pulled the next card, and it was letting go. And then I tried tuning in to be like, okay, am I right here? Is this supposed to be in this spread? Because it didn't feel good. And we've been leading back into some positive energy in the teacher and the loving man card. Like things are stabilizing. Things are going the direction they're supposed to go. So I pulled again after that. Tried to ask if the commitment card was actually supposed to be in the spread just to confirm. And it was just, there was nothing. There was no energy. There was nothing that I could feel there. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's not. I didn't get a definitive no, but there was nothing. Like, okay, maybe, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So I pulled again and I got the lost card. So like, I'm not liking any of these messages. I'm not necessarily rejecting the message that's supposed to come through, but I don't like how it's being delivered. So I pulled again. And I got the decrease card reversed. And this feels like a better delivery of what was trying to come through in the other cards. It just felt really harsh. So it makes more sense with what I was talking about with like, not to take joy out of the joy project, but just acknowledging that in trying to make space for more joy, it might bring up some stuff that has to be dealt with. It might maybe bring up things that need to fall away, whether it is something external in your life or something just about you that you need to let go of. So that let go, the loss, that might be a loss of your old self. It might not necessarily mean you're going to lose anything or anybody. I kind of have a little bit of chills going through, so that feels like that's probably more spot on. That maybe it's more of a personal lack of commitment to yourself, letting go of something about who you are or who you were, who you are no longer supposed to be. And it might feel like a loss. It might feel like you're losing part of yourself, and that can bring about some grief with it. So as you go through the joy project, try to be open to how things might start shifting when you go on this intentional journey. So I do much appreciate the message of the decrease card reversed. If the decrease card were upright, it would mean a decrease in energy, a decrease in, it says it can reveal a period of real or emotional restriction. But reversed, it's better. It says, the appearance of this card reversed reveals a stabilizing cycle entering your life. In time, you can expect some increase in leisure time, money, love, or value. You may have been through a period of isolation or financial limitation, but that part of the cycle is ending. The river of opportunity is starting to flow your way. The first step to shifting the cycle of reduction into expansion is stabilization. The external elements around you, such as work or the economy, may be reaching a natural equilibrium themselves, but it's also important for you to regain your inner balance. This is a time to become more self-actualized and to ready yourself for the good things to come. Although the increase may be slower than heralded by the increase card, it will be steady and methodical. Let yourself take the necessary action to direct this positive shift in the way that you desire. And the affirmation here, I know I didn't read it for all of them. I didn't feel drawn to the other ones. The affirmation for this one is, I am strong and self-directed. I move through any cycle with balance, trust, and present peace. So you're on the right path. You're supposed to be here. You're supposed to be part of this joy project. Be authentic. Be truthful with yourself as you move through this. This is the reminder of what I said in the beginning, to not pretend to be joyful. This isn't a fake it till you make it, bring joy back into your life kind of thing. This is actually making space for real divine joy. That frequency, that vibration of pure divine love to come back into your life fully. And we just might need to make some space in order to feel it fully. So wherever that block is, whatever has been holding you back from feeling fully joyful again, if you are ready and willing to dive into this joy project, it might be time to also bring that up. Let it come up. Face it. Deal with it. Work through it. However you need to do that. There's no right or wrong way. There's no timeline that you have to do this on. But just know that it's meant to be. It's meant to happen. The old parts of you are meant to fall away. You are meant to evolve, ascend. You are meant to get back to real, authentic, full joy. And that feels like a perfect segue to, if you do need that energetic support, if you want help removing, dealing with the blocks, figuring out where they are, getting confirmation on what it is you need to face up to, I encourage you to come to me for a Reiki session and or an Akashic Records session. Often in Akashic Records, we'll end up doing some Reiki, but it's not necessarily a full Reiki session over all of your chakras. So if you have questions about the difference or which one might be better for you and whatever's going on with you, whatever you want to work through, just reach out to me and ask, and I can guide you through it. We can even just get something scheduled if you know you're ready. And we always talk in the beginning, so we can also just figure it out when we meet too. So I hope that this was more inspirational than anything else. I hope that you will, if you haven't already, that you will join us on the Joy Project. Just be yourself. Talk about your journey. Be authentic about your journey. Share what does bring you joy. Do things that bring you joy. And share about it somehow, whether it's just a written post, a picture, a reel, whatever social media platform you like to post on. And you don't even have to do it every day. So if you're having an off day and you're definitely not feeling joyful, don't force it. But keep your eyes focused on the goal, on where you want to be, on what you want to feel, and let it work itself out, because it will. Try not to view it as a test. Understand, really understand and accept that it's just a necessary part of the process. Even if it's a period that sucks, you'll get through it. You're strong, and things are probably going to be better than you actually expect that they're going to be. I think I need that message too sometimes. So if you found this helpful, please again, make sure that you go ahead and share the podcast somehow, whether you are just sending it to a friend or a family member, whether you're sharing online. Again, if you share it to Instagram, please make sure to tag me at I am Carrie Jokala. And then also to help boost it in the actual podcast algorithm, if the platform you're listening on has the ability for you to leave a rating and a review, please make sure you leave a 5-star rating and a positive review. Most of what I see the downloads from, it looks like it's vast majority Apple Podcasts. So I know you can leave a review on there. I know it's weird. I've gone to leave reviews on podcasts before, and I know I click submit, and it doesn't give you the best confirmation to show that it went through, but I have seen that it has gone through when I go in to check on the reviews. But that'll also be like, if it's been a while and I go in to leave another review, because maybe there's a contest going on or something, my old review will still be like typed in the box. But then I'll go and look, and confirm that it actually did also get posted. So I don't know what's going on with that. So don't let that deter you. Still write your review if you are so called. Hit the submit or send button, whatever the button says, and trust that it went through. And if you're not sure, just give it some time, go back, and then scroll to the review section to see if it got posted. If nothing else, the 5-star rating, I know those go through, so that helps a lot. I hope to see your Joy Project hashtags. I don't think it matters too much if you capitalize the words in the Joy Project or if you don't. I've kind of done both so far on different days, but I think I might just start using both versions going forward. But I kind of don't think it matters too much. I don't think it matters. So use whichever version of the hashtag you want. Don't stress about it. If you forget to use it, it's okay. Just help spread more joy. That's what we're here to do. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time.